Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. And happy Friday. Yeah, give yourself a pat on the back. We made it through another week, and what a week it has been. It's been getting hot, 100-plus degrees. Get ready. Bear down, Arizona. We'll survive it. We're used to it. It's a dry heat. We'll just keep telling ourselves that. And really it is. You know, anything under 110 is manageable. After that, not even I like to get out and get on the golf course. But I hope it finds you well wherever you may be. Got a lot of things to talk about. Gold rallying again. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. The narrative that was portrayed by everybody out there, all the people that we rely on, right? The quote-unquote experts, the cheerleading squad on the stock channels. It's not happening. It's not happening. Big miss on the jobs number. This may be this is the biggest miss I've ever seen. Because... well, when you pay everybody not to work, that's what happens, and you're seeing a lot of states now trying to fix that problem. We'll talk about that. New record high prices, we're going to talk about that. I do what I always do. I call my buddies and ask them, hey, is this really happening? And it is in a big way. I'll give you an update on chicken prices. Jeff Gundlach out again today. Of course, as you guys know, he's the guy of all the people I follow and listen to, if you really want the reality, the truth of things, this is the guy you go to. There's a reason why, he's obviously a billionaire, one of the rare billionaires that tells the truth. But there's a reason why all the other billionaires give them their money. Because he understands exactly what's happening out there. And, of course, his big area of expertise is the bond market. So we'll talk about all of those things today and try to hypothesize where we're heading. Everybody's scrambling today. Everyone was caught off guard today by the jobs number. And it wasn't anywhere near where people thought it would be. And I know why that is. Before we get to all of that stuff, just a couple of things. Welcome to all the new advertisers. 1360 KHNC, the Roar of the Rockies, continuing to grow and grow and grow, and you're going to be hearing a lot more from them. Don't forget our absolutely fantastic CBD products. I couldn't be happier with our relationship with My Kind CBD. I'm so grateful that such a great company existed right on our doorstep. Of course, all of our CBD products, and all of you know this. All of you know this because I've been talking about it for months and months and months. You know what? It just helps your body heal itself naturally. And again, there's CBD everywhere. There's thousands and thousands of them. I mean, you drive here in Arizona, you drive through these strips. There's a CBD store, in every third or fourth strip mall, seemingly all over town. And all of this stuff. Listen, these products are expensive. You see them in the grocery stores, and you got CBD anywhere from like $20 to $500. And everything in between. And how do you know? And we cut through all of that. All of the products that we carry on our website, there are no chemicals. Right? The hemp is organic. It's all grown in Colorado, all sourced only from organic farmers. The actual plant itself, the marijuana plant, even though there is no THC in the CBD, just so you know. But it's all sourced from only organic sources, number one. Number two, it's specially made. The marijuana plant that they use, it's specially made for CBD. They take it from the flower of the plant, not the seed, which is really simply put more effective. It's better. You get higher purity, better healing powers, right? All of those things. Yeah, is it a little more expensive? Yes. The process of getting the CBD oil, it's an alcohol-based process versus the harsh chemical processes most people use out there. This isn't like a synthetic oil. Everything is done right here in the USA, everything, right? And really in Colorado, all of it. That's huge. So you know what you're getting is the best of the best. And then, of course, everything independently lab certified. Even though the guys at Micron, they already know that their stuff's the best, but they do it anyway. But why? Because it's the right thing to do, just in case. Did something bad happen during the process that we didn't know about? It can help you. I know it can help. Give them a shot. By the way, and I'm telling you this and with all honesty, this is the least expensive way to buy CBD, especially if you want the good stuff. 1360 KHNC. And don't forget, this is Customer Care Month for my kind. There's a picture out there. You'll see the basket. Someone's winning that basket. And everybody who places an order online, you're going to get thrown in the hopper. At the end of the month, we'll draw the winner, and you're going to get that basket. If you're not a computer person, call us here at Patriot. Our girls will place the order for you. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, what happened with the jobs number? 800-951-0592. Just got an email. People asking about Solar Sandy. Remember, she was on yesterday. And by the way, Solar Sandy is coming to northern Colorado. So keep that in mind. All you people in Colorado, give her a call. Reach out to her. She can help you, obviously, here in the Valley of the Sun. The best of the best. Solar Sandy. Ask SolarSandy.com. AskSolarSandy.com. If you put that in your Google bar, you'll get to her website. Her phone number, 623-850-8299. And you can always call here at Patriot, and we can give you the information. Today was Jobs Day, so as we know, so the first week of the month, we always get the jobs, and on the first Friday, and I guess the first Friday of every month, we get the government's number. And that's what we got today. Now, they were looking for 1 million jobs. But here's the funny thing about Wall Street. There's a whisper number that they like to talk about. Shh. I'm going to say 1 million. But really, I think the number may be closer to 2 million. But I don't want to say that because I don't want to look bad, right? No one likes to look bad. And so the whisper number was like 2 million jobs. Matter of fact, yesterday, a bunch of people were writing articles. Oh no! What if the number's too good? And really, by all accounts, I'm thinking to myself, we should get 2 million jobs. The number that came out today was 266,000. So not only was it not 1 million, nowhere close to the whisper number. I thought it was the biggest miss in history. Apparently, I was wrong. Apparently, in 1998. Now, that predates me even being at Patriot. In 1998, apparently we had a bigger miss. This is the second biggest miss in history. And for all you Sigma guys out there, it's nearly a 4 Sigma miss to expectations. Talking about the 266,000 first-time jobless claims, which we got yesterday, was like 490,000, something like that. The unemployment rate actually ticked up. There was 187,000 food, service, and drinking place jobs created, as well as 72,000 gambling, amusement, and recreational workers. Right? Casinos, maybe you got some Disney in there, Six Flags, right? So the only place there was job growth in the April number was leisure and hospitality, right? The lower end of the job. But again, that's where most of the jobs were lost. So it was, and then they went back. The other part was they went back to the other 2 months and they took off about 260,000 jobs. So really, April's almost like net zero. This got gold roaring. Gold's up 20 right now, 1835 now. Silver still hanging out at around 27.50. The 10-year note fell. The dollar after that week number. Let me just check in here, see if I can get us there. Maybe I can't. There we go. Let's look at where the dollar's at today. The dollar, which remember, we've been talking a lot about how the dollar did not rally. Yeah, the dollar down 62 basis points today, 80.29. 80. Ooh. Let's hope that's a little way off. 90.29. So again, the dollar trying to stay above 90. I don't think it's going to happen. The president coming out immediately. We've got a lot of work to do, right? Justifying all the spending and whatnot. Of course, I'm a big believer, and I think a lot of you out there listening are big believers that, hey, we're paying people not to work. I don't want to exaggerate, 29% of the 16 plus million people that are getting unemployment benefits as we speak. So remember, everybody gets whatever the state allows plus $300. So some states, i.e. New York, California, you're making over $1,000 a week not to work. Then you throw in the fact that, hey, listen, we gave handouts. What are we at? Like $3,000 now for every person that was below, the family below 150 grand. So think about this. You've got you, your wife, 2 kids. Well, you made 12 grand there. Depending on where you live, I'll use Arizona because we're at the lower end here. You only get $600 a week here. But up to some places you get, $1,200 a month. So by and large, right, you're making, at worst case scenario, $31,000 plus 12, and you got $43,000 not to work. And if your wife and husband both were unemployed, think about this. You're talking about, hey, you're making, $600 times 2 times 52 weeks. That's $62,400. Now I'm making an assumption they got 2 kids. This is my made-up household. Husband and wife, both not working. They got 2 kids. They've gotten another $12,000 in the last year. They've made $74,400 not working. 29% of the 16 plus million, let's just round up because it's easy. 30% of the 16 plus million have been unemployed for a year or more. What could possibly be wrong with this picture? I'm going to tell you, guess what? That wasn't it got worse. Wages. So for the courageous 266,000 of you out there that said, you know what? Yes, I know I could make money sitting at home. I'm going to go back to work. Now my buddies are texting me. They're all quitting their job. Don't quit your jobs. Thank you to the 266,000 of you that said, you know what? I'd rather work than get something for nothing. That's the American way. That's what it means to be an American. Not getting handouts from the government. So here's the bad part. Wages. These companies, they're desperate. They need employees. Wages skyrocketed up 0.7% in a single month. And you think about, just think about what that means. That'd be about 8.4% if you annualized. Don't tell me that inflation isn't here. But here's the bad part. And I've talked to all my buddies out there. They all tell me, every one of them tells me the same exact thing. I'm hiring and nobody's applying. I'm paying more money than I've ever paid. And he goes, but it doesn't matter because I can't even get anyone to apply. This is going to make our inflation problem even worse. And I'm telling you, this is going to make it even worse. I mean, can you imagine, like in California and New York, these people made over $100,000 in my made-up employees. I used Arizona money. And this is why we're going to be having this problem. I was talking to a good friend of mine, Daddy Dave, and we were talking about chicken. Because, you know me, I like to verify what I'm telling you. And I said, David, tell me about what's going on with chicken. You know, and I remember I told you that story. I went to Popeyes, you know, big boy's hungry. Wants a chicken sandwich. No, we're out. So I asked him. Here's what he said. He goes, 90 days ago, a case of chicken wings, $88. Okay, now I didn't ask him, well, how many chicken wings? A case of chicken wings, $88. He goes, just happened to order them today, $160. And then he went on to say, by the way, you know, and like everything, there's different chicken wings. There's higher quality, there's lower quality, there's big wings, there's little wings. He says, I always bought the same ones, which makes sense, right? Hey, we got consistency here. People like our food. He goes, I don't even get that now. The guy comes in and he says, well, here's your choice today. Kind of like what I tell you with gold and silver. Hey, here's what you can buy today. And now he said, now this is what he's hearing. So he tells me his sales guy is telling him it's not that there's not enough birds. Okay, there's chickens out there. It's the processing plants that can't get enough employees. And now this is the cycle, and this is why I kept trying to tell everybody that would listen, every country in the world, we're not unique here. The whole world decided that somehow we can defy the laws of economics and we can just hand out free money. How many of you listen and are upset with the number I just gave you? What do you mean? Wait, you could have mom and dad sit at home, do nothing in the great state of Arizona and make $75K if they got 2 kids? Yep. How about if they don't have 2 kids? That number may be worse. Because you still made $69,000 without any kids. Right? Each kid only got you an extra $3,000. Now here's the funny part. Starting in June, Joe Biden, He's going to pay you $300 a kid for every kid you got that's under the age of 18. And if they're under the age of 6, he's going to pay you $360 a month. Man. So what I'm telling you is this, my imaginary family, right? My imaginary Arizona family, mom and dad aren't working. Okay, just by not working here in Arizona, you make $31,200. Now, starting, I think what it was starting the other day, you got to pretend you're actually looking for work. By the way, now in Arizona, so mom and dad both aren't working. That's $62,400. We've sent them $3,000 apiece, right? $3,000 for dad, $3,000 for mom. Then I told you they got 2 kids. That's $3,000 and $3,000, right? $74,400. Starting in June, let's say both kids they're 8 and 10. Add another $600 a month onto that number. Hey, that puts them above $80,000. 800-951-0592. Just a quick back of the napkin math. That's about 5 million people been unemployed for more than a year. That means they're permanently unemployed. I got friends everywhere. Good friend of mine runs a recruiting service. He says that now they're rating their recruits. And he says there's a very clear pattern of people gaming the system that keep turning down jobs because they don't want to work. I did the math. I mean, the math's really easy. Starting June 1, my imaginary Schmuckatelli family is going to make $82,000 a year for them and their 2 kids by not working. And actually be a little higher if the kids were under 6, but I made them over 6 because I wanted to keep the number low. And I'm using Arizona. You only get $600 a week here. They're starting now to rate the candidates, the recruiters. They're putting them in a tier 1 and a tier 2 basket. Tier 2 means you keep turning down jobs. You're gaming the system. Listen, this is going to end. I don't know when, but at some point this nonsense will end. And all of those, I'll call them tier 2s, you're going to be unhireable. I mean, think about it, right? Who hired? Oh, yeah. How long have you not worked? Oh, I haven't worked for 2 years. Well, what have you been doing? Why haven't you worked in 2 years? Well, COVID. People be like, what are you talking about? We've been hiring for almost 2 years. Where have you been? I mean, skills dissipate. The mind it can be a dangerous thing. Right? Think about you get in these routines, you sit at home day after day, week after week. All of a sudden you go back into the real world. I don't want to do that. What, I gotta go change a bedpan now? No, thanks. But understand the amount of money we're talking about. And really, the reason why I brought it up was I needed all of you to understand the amount of money that we're really giving out. Because I can sit there and say, infrastructure, $2.25 trillion, stimulus, $1.9 trillion, family plan, $1.9 trillion. That doesn't mean anything. Right? You're like, yeah, that's a lot, but let me just break it down to the family unit. You got a boyfriend, girlfriend living together, a husband and wife living together, 2 people living together here in Arizona. You can make over $60,000. That's ridiculous not to work. And listen, you got to remember, that's not all the spending. All these people get food stamps. Yes, they do. They're getting rental assistance. Right? Think about that. Not only do they get all that money, they're getting help paying the rent. They're getting help buying food. No wonder why. Because I know a lot of you out there, you're like me. Man, there's people out. Where's all this money? There it all is. There it all is. I mean, start thinking about it. Drive past all your neighbors' houses, all the apartments, all the townhomes, all the condos. And I know what a lot of people out there, you're listening going, what am I doing working? And then you end up with a jobs number like we saw today. They were expecting, listen, I know that, we expect 1 million. They were expecting a lot more than 1 million. Here's the problem. The $300 extra for every kid, that doesn't even start till next month. The extra money in the paychecks, that's all the way through September. By the way, 2 states now, Montana, South Carolina, said that's it. We're not giving you extra money anymore. And I think that's probably what it's going to take. Probably going to take the state saying, you know what, this is just dumb. That makes no sense. But again, I wanted to give you perspective. We're flooding the whole entire marketplace with dollars. The world's never seen this before. And then they're trying to BS us, right? They're trying to gaslight us. Oh, no, it's just going to be transitory. Well, I guess, you know what? Maybe it will be. I like what B of A said. Well, okay, if you want to believe it's transitory, it's going to be hyper-transitory. By the way, copper, new all-time high today. Used vehicle prices, new all-time record high price. What did we have yesterday? Iron ore, steel, all-time record high prices. Listen, get ready. Everything's going to be all-time record high prices soon enough. And you really start to understand all of the magnitude of this. Why are there not enough computer chips? Right? You're like, man, how many laptops, telephones, vehicles, how much are we really selling? Well, now you know why. All of a sudden, it makes a lot of sense. Because, right, your initial thought is, because remember, what was it? I don't know, 90 days ago, maybe 120 tops, there was 20 million people unemployed. So how could we be out of all these chips? Simple. They're kicking back, knocking down 75K. And that was the people. You lived in a bad state if you were only knocking down 75K. I mean, they've never lived better. Anyway, I'm just imagining now what our future is going to hold here. Because these people are now addicted. Right? We got them hooked on the crack. Right? They're all smoking the crack pipe. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. It is a good day today. I got some product availability. We haven't seen it in a little bit here, but here's the best price. Think about it. Gold's up what, 50 bucks in less than the last 48 hours. I've got 95 $10 liberties. That's For those that are new, what does that mean, $10 Liberty? That's a half of an ounce. It's a half-ounce gold coin minted by the U.S. Mint, minted by the federal government from 1866 to 1907. Do you know what's interesting about that time period? Do you know how much inflation we had from 1866 to 1907? Anyone want to guess? How about none? Believe it or not, that's how America worked. And I know people forget we didn't have a central bank as we became a superpower. We got the central bank after we became a superpower. But we've got 95 of them at $1,050. And I'm telling you right now, that was the price of a $10 Liberty on Wednesday morning, $1,050. So essentially, we're ignoring the $50 move today. Got 95 $10 Liberties, half-ounce gold coins, and the ones I like, pre-1933, private. They're considered a collectible. Remember, I read you all the Gold Confiscation Act from FDR. The only gold you could keep was collectible gold coins. Are they going to confiscate gold again? I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me. You know what? Here's what I know they're going to confiscate. They're going to confiscate the Federal Reserve note. I promise you that. That's absolutely going to happen. So 95 $10 Liberties at $1,050 today at 800-951-0592. Keep adding to your portfolio. Understand the amount of money that they've sent out. Listen, they've been doing it now for, what are we talking about? We're approaching 60 weeks. They always say, hey, after the third time, it becomes habit forming. What about on the 60th time? What are all of these people going to do? When all of a sudden, if the check, and I say if, I don't think the checks can ever stop, but I've told you this. It's just like the central bank trying to, oh no, well, we're going to raise rates at some point. No, they're not. They can't. I mean, maybe they can get to like 1 or 2%. Think about this. For most of our lives, just take out the last 15 years. Just get rid of it. The average Federal Reserve, the Fed's funds rate, was over 5%. We're at 0. Well, between 0 and 0.25, in fairness. What would happen if it just went back to 5? What do you think would happen to the housing market? You think prices would still go up? What do you think would happen to car prices and everything else, right? Right? It becomes, and again, the only way that could work, new minimum wage. It's not $50 an hour. New minimum wage, $30, right? The Whopper combo meal, $25, right? The average price of a new car, probably close to $100,000, right? Pickup trucks, close to $200,000. The average price of a new home is probably going to be $250,000. Could you imagine the debt? Wow. So just look at it this way. Every 1 point in the federal funds rate, every 1 point adds about $3 to $400 billion to the debt. Right, so if you did that 5 times, all of a sudden you just added $2 trillion a year to the debt just on interest payment. We can't pay interest. And that's why I said the Federal Reserve notes, it's going to get confiscated. There's no doubt about it. It's not a matter of if. The if left the building a long time ago. It's just simply a matter of how much time do we think we have left? I don't know. I don't know that answer. I think 2022 is going to get very, very ugly. The government's going to try to stop sending all of these checks out. Inflation is going to be running rampant. And at the same time, they're like, oh my, we can't stop sending checks out. And you got to remember, we already were sending checks out to 40 plus million before this happened. Yeah. You think Portland's on fire. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Think about today. $20 gold pieces, $2,120 today. I mean, they were $2,100 yesterday. $2,120 today. 2 $10 liberties at $1,050. That's less. I mean, it's $2,100. That's $20 less than the 20. Always great when you can buy fractionals for less, because you know what? That doesn't happen that often. Take advantage. Put them away. You know, we talked about gold. We know right now gold's stalking $1,850 now. Stalking it. Once it breaks through that 200-day moving average, listen, we're going to new all-time highs. That's just how it is. And silver's not far behind. You know, silver's at 27, like 40 right now, 27.40, 27.45, 27.47 now. That number for silver is about $28. And we know, so I mean, silver was up $1 yesterday. Be prepared. 800-951-0592. Let me leave you with what Jeff Gundlach had to say today. Remember last week, he said he was kind. They're guessing that this is transitory. Today, a lot of weird things have happened once the pandemic hit. It was a steady march to dependency on the government by a larger and larger faction of the U.S. population, which has gone absolutely vertical. The number of people totally dependent on the government now. Trillions in congressional approved payments caused the deficits, which were already blown out, to widen much further. The Fed's balance sheet has exploded with debt. He's pointed out that the surge in the debt doesn't even capture how much money the federal government really owes. Started talking about all the unfunded liabilities. Listen, I'm telling you, and I've already told you this. Social Security and Medicare are in trouble. 2025, I've been saying 2025 for the last 3 years now. We've got big problems. He says, forget about 28 trillion. Forget that number. He goes, when you really factor it all in, the debts we already have, the unfunded liabilities, we're talking about over $200 trillion. And that's being generous, because we're not even accounting for all the extra spending that we know we're coming up on. Right? Look at all these plans. It's not like they're spending $6 trillion this year, right? We're going to do, this one is $300 billion a year. This stimulus is $400 billion a year. That stimulus is $300 billion a year. We're going to do it for the next decade. Remember what he said last week? Who in their right mind would be buying 10-year notes at 1.7% when everybody knows inflation's closer to 10? Here's the funny thing. After today's horrible jobs number, the 10-year note's below 1.5. So now it's gotten even worse. Yeah, don't worry. Just transitory. 800-951-0592. U.S. $10 gold pieces at $1,050. God bless everybody. Get out there and spend that money. I'll see you on Monday.